Hello and welcome to our continuing series on Zettagrid's new storage product ioSTOR. So what I want to do in this video is basically go through how ioSTOR is presented through to our cloud data centers. So what I'm going to do initially is log into a Zettagrid cloud that is on one of our older profiles, that being a standard profile. So let me just log in and we'll take a look at see what traditionally you guys have seen. So when we log in, obviously we've got our standard quick access menu, which has got all of our VApps and our running VMs. What we want to do is go through to administration. Now depending on what you have got in your VDC/organisation, you will see a number of different resource pools which equate to virtual data centers. So each data center has a profile that's attached to it. Previously that was a standard or premium profile. So as you can see here, when we plug into the virtual data center, you'll see that you're presented with your current VApps and your running VMs. Under the Storage Profiles tab, this is what you would have seen previously. So within the Storage Profile tab, the one thing I want to point out which customers may see or may not see is a system alert error. So if you actually click on it, you'll actually come with an operation is denied error. So don't worry about that, it's not functionally inhibiting, it's basically there to let us know that we've done some work under the surface. So look, what we've got here is a MyCloud standard profile. What that effectively ties back to is if we go into the VApp where VMs are, and if we actually click through on a VM, we will see that under the properties, we've got a section down here, storage profile. Now at the moment you've got the one option, and that's as it's been before. So with ioSTOR, what we're going to basically do is give you the option to move your VMs between different tiers as you buy them. So once you provision them through the website, you can come back to this section and actually move your VMs either live or offline. More than likely you want to do it online, but the option there is to move them offline as well if you so choose. So what we'll do is we'll go back through to the administration and to our storage profiles, and now what we will do is we'll pause the video for a second. In the previous instructional video on ioSTOR that showed the My Account portal, we saw how you actually order those profiles. So what I'm going to do quickly in the back end is go through the provisioning process, which you can see in video 1, and come back when we actually have the profiles ready to go. Okay, so in the background the automation through the My Account portal has provisioned all the storage tiers. So now if we hit the refresh button, we'll see that we've got a bunch of tiers that exist now, and these are the ioSTOR tiers. As you can see, the ioSTOR 1000 tier has become the default profile, which means that every new VApp and VM that you create, unless specified, will go on the ioSTOR 1000. So if you don't have ioSTOR 1000, the default profiles that the system will select is your highest tier. Okay, so let's take a look at how we actually migrate VMs from the old storage profiles to the new. If we click on the VApps, we'll see that we've got our VApps again listed and our VMs that are contained within the VApps. So let's click on this particular VApp here and click on virtual machines. Now to migrate away, it's as simple as right-clicking on the VM, going to properties, clicking down, and while before we only had the one storage profile option, now we have all the storage profiles that are presented as purchased. So let's trigger a move to ioSTOR 1000 of this particular VM. So in the background at the moment what's happening is that there's a storage vMotion job happening. Now this is a live vMotion, so what that means is if the VM is on, it's actually not going to get affected by this move. Really cool technology which enables you guys to freely move VMs between tiers at will and not have to worry about machines going offline. So while this is updating, I will pause the video and come back when it's complete, and we'll show you exactly what it looks like here on the right hand side. Okay, so once that's done, what you'll see is that the storage profile will actually change the storage profile that you selected during the migration. Now, to fully migrate away from your current standard or premium, you actually have to move all VMs and all media off that profile and onto the new tiering. just to highlight that fact, by way of looking at the actual usage, you'll see that there is still 34.25 gigs of 80 gigs remaining on the MyCloud Standard. To move the VApp and all the VMs inside that VApp, what you have to do is turn off all VMs and stop the VApp. Individually, you can migrate VMs live, but if you wanted to move VMs and VApps in bulk, you have to unfortunately turn them off. So if you can actually schedule in some downtime, this is actually a really good way to move whole VApps to a new profile. So once it's stopped, you've got the options here, which are usually grayed out if the VApp and the VMs are powered on, is to copy to or move to. So in this case, we want to move. We want to select the same data center, but we want to change the profile. So let's choose a couple of different profiles to the ioSTOR 1000 that we chose before. So key thing to note here is even though you're moving the whole VApp, you can still individually move the VMs onto different storage profiles within that VApp during the move. Let's hit OK on that. With that copy finished, let's click in and see what we have in terms of the VMs and where they now lie. So you can see that we've got the VMs that are powered off, and they're on ioSTOR 500 and 250. So again, a really good way to copy whole VApps if you want to. Again, must be noted that this is an offline move, as opposed to the method that we showed before, which was an online live move without any VM disruption. So let's continue to migrate these VMs. And you can only do one VM at once using this method. So you'll have to wait until this VM finishes and then proceed to the next one. So again, I'll pause the video and we'll come back when it's complete. Alright, that's finished, and we'll move the final VM in this particular VApp. One thing to note here is that you don't get an estimated time for the move to finish, but please do read the FAQ when it comes to migrating and moving VMs, as it gives you some rough guidelines on how long a particular VM will take to vMotion. Again, it's very dependent on what's currently happening on the platform itself, but as you can see, this particular VM happened while I was speaking. So now that we've got what looks like effectively all of our VMs off the old storage profile, let's go back and have a look and see what the actual... So you can see here that we've got 0 bytes out of 80 gigs. So that's a good thing, because that means we can go back to the My Account portal and remove this profile. Just before that though, I wanted to point out that if you had moved all your VMs and still saw data on your old profile, it was more than likely due to you having some sort of media. So with the media under your catalogs, if you've uploaded ISOs or actual kept gold copy templates of your VMs, then that actually counts as storage. So just to let you know that if you've moved your VMs and you're wondering why you've still got storage appearing there on your old profile, it's probably because of that. Now, the ioSTOR 100 profile is actually really handy given the relative cheapness of it for storing that media and those VM templates. So what I'm going to do now, in the background, I'm going to go into the My Account portal and remove the My Account Standard from my list of services, and when we come back we'll see that that should disappear from our list. Okay, let's hit refresh, and there you go. So now we're fully on ioSTOR, all the VMs are moved across, and we're all happy using the new product from Zettagrid.